Hello everybody, and welcome back to When We Tried to DIY Baking Edition. That's a little bit of a joke, but also I do think I'm gonna call it that. If you've been here a really long time, like before COVID, I used to do videos where I DIY'd things. Oh, he's making the reflection.
Oh no.
In the water. I got dye all over my thumb, all over this towel. Blue, green, blue, pink.
Oh yeah.
Where did I get the 16? I don't know. It has 6 of these little molds in it.
They're so cute. They're little widows.
I've actually done it. Every time. Not just baking, not just cooking, though a lot of them were that. But I did a few other things with my nephews and my niece, with my friends, with my mom, with my sister. Did all kinds of different things, and it really was fun to do, but it was a lot of work. Recently, I've just really wanted to start baking more and trying out recipes, and so I thought, let's bring it back, but baking edition only. We'll just be baking here, but we're still trying to DIY. We're still trying to figure out recipes together. I've never made this recipe before. We're gonna do it together and figure it out together, and I'm excited to do that. So I thought that we can make separate videos that are just for these. If you're interested in watching any of my vlogs, though, make sure to check out the channel and subscribe, because I make vlogs every week, post them on Saturdays. So we've got our handy dandy iPad so that we can look at our recipe, and today we are making, once again, Martha Stewart, because I love Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart oatmeal lace cookies. You can find this on marthastewart.com, and that's what we're gonna make. I have been recently obsessed with the thin cookies, and so I'm sort of been searching out ones, and this one came up and it was Martha Stewart, so we're gonna make it. Last time I made chocolate chip thin cookies. Today we're gonna make oatmeal ones. And I'm excited to try them. I think they're gonna be good. So, ingredients include 3 sticks of butter melted, 3 cups of oats, a tablespoon and a half of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt. I have that. Oh, it's right here. 1 3/4 cup sugar. That's right here. 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 2 large eggs that I got from my neighbor. It said to do this in a saucepan, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna melt my butter and do it in here and mix it in here. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set our oven to 350, and we're going to get started. Melting the butter. I'll just melt it in the microwave. 1, 2, 3. Microwave. Back to this. Okay, so we have our melted butter. Now we're gonna add our oats. It's 3 cups of oats. 1, 2, 3. 1 1/2 tablespoons of flour. Such a small amount of flour, but I'm pretty sure that's because of the oats. That you don't really need a lot. So we'll do 1 1/2. 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 3/4 cup of sugar. 1, 2, 3, and 1. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 1, we measure with our heart when it comes to vanilla. And 2 eggs. I am going to break these eggs in a separate bowl. I don't always do that, but because I've never used an egg from a neighbor, we'll just make sure. Those look good. And an egg. we don't always do things the way we're told around here. And sometimes that's to our detriment, and sometimes it's fine. So today we're gonna find out. And we'll mix it up. I'm surprised this recipe doesn't have brown sugar in it, to be honest. It's definitely gonna be a runnier batter on purpose. That's so you get the thin cookie. Definitely runny. Ooh, is it too runny? How does that even stay on the pan? This just looks really runny. I don't know about that. This seems to me like it's a little too runny. I don't know about that. I suppose I can try it, and then if it doesn't work, I'll just put a little bit of flour in it, I guess. I don't know. It says a tablespoon and a half. So I was thinking of doing that. Basically, that just seems wrong. I have never made one that runny before. But that doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means that it's different. But like this, what? 13 to 15 minutes, it says. So we'll try it. Okay, our cookies are done. Let's see what happened. Okay. Oh, that didn't work. Oh my gosh, what is that? It's one big pile of nothing. Well, that's why this is a DIY situation. Okay, that didn't work. So, what does that mean from here? I think I'm gonna add a little bit of flour to this. I think I'm gonna just cook this a little longer so that it's not one big goopy mess. How about 2 more tablespoons? Still fairly runny. How many tablespoons are in like 1/4 of a cup? So we've made it a little more solidified by adding some flour, not a lot of flour, as you saw, but we'll see if that helps. As you can see, that's not what we're going for. Now, if they taste good, still a bonus, but that's not what we were looking for. But I'm gonna let that cool, and then I'll try to make some more. Okay, let's see if this tastes good at least. I'm sure it will. It is very lacy. It's very buttery. I think that's the problem. Oh. I'll still save this and eat it because it's good. It's just too spread out. So we'll put a little more flour in it. We're gonna try that. That was one big cookie. This parchment is so buttery too. Look at that. Like maybe they're just too big. Maybe that's my problem. I did it again! This doesn't make any sense. Maybe I'm just making them too big. Maybe that's my problem. It looks like a dog bone. That's not what I want, so I'm gonna change up my tool. This is the same thing, just smaller. So we just have smaller cookies, and hopefully that fixes the problem. Okay. we'll try that and see if it's any better. Just a slightly smaller circles, not slightly, quite a bit smaller. Hopefully they spread out and they're thin, they're just not one big cookie. Okay, everybody, I think we did it. I think we solved our problem. Because look at that. They're still spread out, but they're supposed to be spread out. It was just a size problem. We just were putting too much in there at one time. So now they're like the perfect size. And they're gonna be so yummy. We're gonna let these cool. We're gonna make more. You know, sometimes it just takes a trial and error situation to figure out what's going on. Sometimes if you put like baking soda or baking powder, it could be the wrong thing. If you put, you know, this, that, other thing could be the thing that's causing the issue. But in this case, I followed the directions, so all the ingredients were right and it tasted good, but it just wasn't coming out the way I wanted it. It wasn't looking the way I wanted it to, so I just had to adjust my proportions. Like adding the flour wasn't a big issue either, so it's basically the same cookie. So I would just put like a little more flour because then you can scoop it a little easier. And then this is a mini scoop, mini muffin scoop. So that works a lot better, obviously. Okay, we did it. Sort of. It definitely was a learning process. There was definitely trial and error. Some of it didn't work, some of it did. But we did make cookies, and they are lacy, and they are oatmeal, and they do taste good. Well, the bit I tried tastes good. These are definitely crispy. Well, they have a little bit of a, like a bend and like a little bit of a chewy, a little bit of a crispy. They taste great. They taste like butter and sugar or vanilla. And they turned out like they're supposed to for the most part. So they spread out a ton. And so that's the only bummer, because when you put them on the pan, they just spread out and they go find the other cookies and they attach themselves to their cookies. So you can only do so many at a time. And unless you make them even a little bit smaller, but I like them that they're this size. They run into each other and they get crazy, but they're very good cookies. I do recommend making them because there's not a ton of ingredients. And the dough is easy to make, but it's just maybe putting a little bit more flour, because it still tastes great with the extra flour in it. So that way it's a little easier to put it on the pan. And then make sure your cookies are spread apart. And do not put more than what it does not work to put a lot. You have to put it says a tablespoon and a half. I would say even a tablespoon sized amount of dough on the tray is the right amount, because they spread out so far. But then it makes them lacy and it makes them yummy, and yeah, they're still very tasty. So thanks for experimenting with me again and for baking cookies. And I enjoy this. I enjoy our little, we tried a DIY baking edition and trying to figure things out and see what we think about them. I really like these. I would definitely give these away to people. They taste really good because I keep eating them, so they obviously do. They were fun. So I don't know what we're gonna make next week. I do have an idea. We'll see if we do it, but next week is Easter week. And so I'm gonna be baking a couple times, I think, because I'm supposed to bring dessert to Easter. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'll definitely try to bake next week. I just know it's gonna be a really busy week, but I'll try. The nice thing about this, I can just kind of bake when I have time and then post it. So I don't exactly know what day of the week these will happen on. Today it's probably Wednesday when you're seeing this, and maybe it'll always be Wednesday, but it may not. It may be somewhere in the middle of the week, and I don't exactly know when yet, because I have to kind of have enough videos to make sure that I post on time, if that makes sense. Anyway, you guys don't care. Just make sure to keep a lookout, turn on the notifications, subscribe so that you know when we're going to be baking again. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for DIYing with me.